All right, everybody, welcome to Skeptalk Live, episode number 40. I'd like to apologize. For some reason, my camera is having a ton of stupid bleed, and I can't get rid of it, and I can't figure out why. So we're just going to move on. We're going to have the bleed throughout the rest of the episode. You may also notice that I'm the only one here. So, real life comes first when it comes to the life of Twitch talk show hosts, and Wes, Shayna, and Jason were all disposed tonight, so it's just going to be you, chat, and me, and we're going to take a look at the news today. Let's see who's joined here. We've got Twisty Top Hatter, I'm seeing Resident Shiru, Curry Sauce, Pants 404. I know that Pants is in the chat, but he's predisposed doing finals work right now, and finals are more important than Skeptalk Live episode 40, big 40. My sound coming through all right to everybody? I think that's it's going to be a lot of me talking to myself tonight, and we're going to figure out how that works the best. There's Jobsis. Good to go. All right. So, let's take a look at some news. We'll just pop on in. I've got a show designed today. It's gonna, would normally take 2 hours for a couple of people. We may accidentally go a little bit too fast, but we'll see. All right, now remember, this is a fair use podcast, and everything that we talk about here is for criticism, parody, news reporting, research, commentary, things that are protected under fair use. And when you go copyright my little video here on YouTube, just remember that. All right, our first story is titled Pug Problems, and it's an interaction news story. So we're going to I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information, and you're going to guess 1 through 6 what you think the story is actually about. All right, so the things you should know is there is the pug problem picture and title is on purpose, and the information you're going to get is a British man has been found guilty of a hate crime recently. What was he tried for? Was it 1, he tried to turn his dog into a Nazi? 2, his dog's name is a racial slur? 3, he created a Facebook group called Pug Life? 4, his dog attacked an immigrant family? 5, he threw a dog at a minority? Or 6, this story has nothing to do with dogs? We've got 1 for 5 from Enet down. Welcome to the stream, Enet. Six for Twisty says that this story has nothing to do with dogs. We've got 6225. That would mean the story has nothing to do with dogs. His dog's name is also 2 racial slurs, and he threw a dog at a minority. Resident Shiru says 1, that he turned his dog into a Nazi. Let's see what it's really about. A British man who taught his pug to do a Nazi salute when he gave a specific verbal command has been found guilty of a hate crime, the Jewish Chronicle has reported. Mark Meechan instructed the dog to perform the salute when he said Sig Heil or gas the Jews. He has uploaded a video of the trick in 2016, which quickly went viral. He claimed that he taught the dog the salute taught the dog the salute and the commands to irk his girlfriend, who owned the dog. In the 2016 video, he can be heard saying he wanted to turn the dog into the least cute thing I could think of, which is a Nazi. Yeah, Resin is correct. This is the story about Count Dankula. So the thing to think about in this story is about a lot of free speech issues. So if you watch the video, he takes his little super cute / ugly dog, right? And his girlfriend is super enamored about it and always talking about how cute it is. So he decided, as a joke, he would try to turn it into the least cute thing possible, which is a Nazi. And the video shows him running around, repeating the command phrases, and the dog raising its paw. it was meant to. He wasn't a big YouTuber at the time. He was a moderately funny comedy YouTuber. But that video blew up really large. To the point of where for the last 2 years he hasn't been able to find employment, and he also hasn't been able to, he's getting death threats from groups like Antifa and things like that. So when you put something out there, make sure you pay attention to the possibility that what you're about to put out there could get blown up huge. Now, Curry Sauce says it sucks pug balls for you, dude. But yeah, so this guy, he's got a lot going in front of him now. This trial had been pushed back multiple times, and it's very possible that one of the reasons that he was prosecuted is because the prosecutor, the people who levied the crimes against him, didn't get the joke, right? It's quite obvious if you watch his video that it was a joke, right? So it's very possible that people didn't get it, and they may actually even be using him as an example to attempt to, nail down the ability to hit people with racial offenses. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out, but he has currently been he's been convicted. His sentencing happens in April. It is not in America, Squabbly. This is definitely in the UK. Yes. All right. So our next story is about Mr. Tabasco. So this is another. I forgot the image there, but this is another interaction news story. So all you need to know is that this takes place. This involves Mr. Tabasco, and the information you're going to get is the Mr. Tabasco pageant has been canceled. Oh no! Why was the Mr. Tabasco contest canceled? Mr. Sriracha has better ratings. 2, Tabasco is a sauce, not a place. 3, Donald Trump had something to do with this. 4, not a single ticket to the event sold. 5, the men of Tabasco are not worthy. Or 6, everyone is too busy watching Dragon Ball. So we've got people asking if it's the sauce. That's something you got to figure out. Squabbly says twisty motherfucking top hatter. Resin says 4, that not a single ticket to the event sold. Twisty says 4. Curry says 3. Donald Trump had something to do with this, and 3 times saying everyone was too busy watching Dragon Ball. For those of you who are just joining us or have never seen this before, the talking about watching Dragon Ball is about last episode when we revealed that the people of Mexico have a huge attraction to the Dragon Ball series, and it's more popular there than pretty much anywhere else. Squabbly says 1, that Mrs. Sriracha has better ratings. So the actual answer is the male beauty contest in Mexico was scrapped due to the fact that the contestants were deemed too ugly for it to go ahead. The Mr. Tabasco 2017 pageant was announced by a modeling agent, Oscar Servan Leon, with the hopes of finding a red-hot hunk to hold the title. The pageant organizers said that the contestants weren't up to scratch. Only 6 entrants threw their hat into the ring. These are the 6 entrants you'll see here. His agency caused controversy with its original advertisement by specifying the contestants must be a minimum height of 5 foot 10 inches, single, childless, and have an athletic body, and not be a stripper. Only 6 entrants threw their hats in the ring to become Mr. Model Tabasco in the southeastern Mexican state of Tabasco. Although the agency conducted some publicity shoots with the 6 hopefuls, showing them in swimsuits, casual clothes, and formal attire, the contest was soon canceled, with the 6 being too ugly deemed too ugly to compete any further. So the men of the town of Tabasco are not pretty enough, or the pretty ones did not enter the contest. And so they canceled the Mr. Tabasco modeling contest. All right. Our next story is something that's actually pretty, I want to say conspiracy-y. So we'll move on to this. Twisty says that those shirts weren't doing anybody any good. And Curry says number 5 doesn't look too bad. Curry also said that they were all strippers working in China at the funerals. Yeah. All right, so this story is about Alti, the Georgian Loch Ness monster. What you see here is a corpse of a creature that washed up on a Georgia shore on Friday. Jeff Warren said he saw the animal Friday afternoon at the Wolf Island National Wildlife Refuge. Warren told reporters that initially they thought the animal was a dead seal, but after looking closely, he described it more as a Loch Ness type thing. In the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service said that some sea animals decompose in a way that can resemble looking like a plesiosaur, adding that basking sharks can appear to have a long neck and a tiny head when they decompose. That is not a red rocket. That is guts. That is gore. It was censored because it is gore. It's not an animal penis. There's no word so far on what the animal is, although saying that some animals turn it fake news, it's a red rocket. Saying that some other animals decompose to look like a Loch Ness monster seems like a bit of a cop-out. All right. He died looking for Tree Fitty. Yep. All right. Our next story is about biohacking. Titled Extreme Biohacking Operation Bus Pass. An opal card implanted into a Sydney man's hand could now be deactivated by the authorities. So, this guy's name is... Okay, I have trouble thinking of this guy as a serious person, but his name is Meow Ludo Disco Gamma Meow Meow. And that is his real actual name. Meow Ludo Disco Gamma Meow Meow. Spelled M-E-O-W. Oops. I went too far. There we go. He works in the near field communication chip field and has implanted essentially a bus pass into his hand. This is a real picture directly from the article that was talking about this. The device was implanted under the skin in his left hand, which is just picking out the NFID chip from the bus pass, so that he could use it easier on the transport. So now he just rubs his hand over where people would normally put their card. Although the transport for the NSW does not support the tampering or damaging of opal cards, which could be a breach of terms of their use. Jobsis says, can you spell that, please? It is MEOW-LUDO, so Meow Ludo, Disco, DISCO, Gamma, GAMMA, MEOW-MEOW. Meow Ludo Disco Gamma Meow Meow. So they say it could be a breach of their terms of service for the bus pass. Essentially, I know it's like it's a transport card, so it could be bus or monorail or whatever they've got going on wherever he's at. But he could walk out of his house, forget his wallet, forget his phone and everything, and he's still going to be able to interact with technology. He acknowledged that the chip might become obsolete in the coming years, but he says he's not super stressed about it. Opal will be superseded in the next 2 to 4 years, and I think my Mikey will, which is Melbourne's transportation system. Mr. Meow Meow's Opal device was implanted by a piercing expert who could manage the risk of infection. The biohacker warned others not to do the same. Without careful research and expertise, he predicted that NFC's implants would allow would grow in popularity and could allow them to be given to clients more convenient experiences. They're going to say, hey, do you want us to give you your unique ID, and we'll put that on and we'll verify you. Yeah. Mark of the Beast, right? Love the Mickey Mouse Band-Aid on the cat man, right? Well, when you start getting into a guy who calls himself a biohacker, you're definitely going to start using Mickey Mouse Band-Aids. Because you're not allowed to do normal things anymore. Especially after you change your name to Meow Meow. Alright. Our next story is a crime story. And I'm going to preface this with, I'm not giving an opinion on the national walkout that the children did on the anniversary of the Florida shooting. What I am doing is giving an opinion of what happened during that walkout. While students in a South Carolina school participated in the national school walkout this week, a custodian helped herself to their cash, police have said. The incident occurred at Richmond Northeast High School on Wednesday. Aisha Evans, the custodian at the school, went into the classroom while the students were outside and rummaged through 3 book bags. The department said, in all, Evans stole $180. Those kids had a lot of gosh dang money on them. The custodian was arrested soon afterwards and charged with 3 counts of petty larceny. Evans, 32, was employed by the Service Solutions, an agency that provides custodial services to the district school. The agency terminated the woman, and the school districts told CNN affiliates on Thursday, March 15th. Service Solutions notified Richland that Evans is no longer an employee of the company and was informed that she cannot come on any Richland property. It's unclear whether or not she has retained a lawyer. But yeah, that's pretty low. Exactly what Twisty's saying there. I don't care if you disagree or agree with what the kids are doing. You don't go in and steal money out of kids' wallets or backpacks or whatever. Especially when they're, developing and learning. I mean, imagine that this was, something that they, learn. Squabbly says I would, fucking little shits. Well, what if that money was stuff that they needed to pay their crack dealer with? I don't know how far 180 can get in the lawyer land. Exactly. I imagine she didn't get to keep the $180 she stole. All right. Next story. This is a content warning. Oh, what we got going on here? Twisty Top Hatter, 100 bits. Thank you very much. Twisty's now #1 of the week. All right. So this is your content warning for anybody who doesn't like bees. So here it is. All right. Yes, this is a thing. For those of you familiar with what acupuncture is, there is also bee-cupuncture, where you use bees for acupuncture. So, yeah. Acupuncture is gaining popularity around the world as a harmless, if unproven, alternative method of pain relief. But some people are taking the practice too far by using bee stings instead of needles. A 55-year-old Spanish woman has died after receiving a live bee acupuncture, according to a case study published in the Journal of Investigative Allergology. I think so. Allergology? Yeah. And Clinical Immunology. The cause of death was a severe allergic reaction to the venom, although she had previously attended 24 other sessions in which she was stung to hell with bees. Ramo says, we'll see who can bring in more honey. Welcome to the show, Ramo. Squabbly says, a.k.a. Dale Ribble. Sounds like a job for Rusty Shackelford. Right. Twisty Top Hatter says, blah, no thanks. You guys not interested in bee sting acupuncture? Pardon me, it's got to be a dog hair or something that is directly in my nose and making me want to just pick at my nose the whole time. Blaze Black Sheep Ass just got here. Just you today? Yep, definitely. We've got, we had some real life stuff come up and prevent the other hosts from coming today, so we're going El Solo. And fuck it, we'll do it live. Curry says, I am allergic. How can I do this? You can't. RP, I guess, says ew pukes. Yeah, no, it's not an interesting, it's not a fun thing, but apparently... This is you know, live bee acupuncture is called apitherapy, is the use of substances from honeybees to relieve of various medical conditions. Some practices use honey or royal jelly, while live bee acupuncture uses the venom. The acupuncture treatment, which is originated in China, replaces the metal or thin metal needles with bee stings and is often practiced by non-medical practitioners. A bee is positioned directly over a relevant point on the patient's body, and its head is squeezed repeatedly until the stinger comes out. The stinger is inserted into the skin, the venom is released, and the bee dies. How's it going, RP, I guess? I think is it RP, I guess, or RPIGS? We'll go for whichever one you're interested in. Twisty Top Hatter says Homeo Bullcocky. Yeah. All right. There's a little bit more on here. What is it used for? Like traditional acupuncture, it is often used to promote natural healing and pain relief. It's also touted as a treatment for arthritis, rheumatism, nerve pain, muscle conditions, and even multiple sclerosis and asthma. So I think that even though they say that it is good for these things, I think there's a reason that this is done by non-medical practitioners, because most medical practitioners would say, that's venom. And it's a defensive measure of a creature, not a medicine. But who knows? Apparently, it killed an old Spanish lady. So that's something. If you're thinking about heading out for some bee acupuncture, research a little bit first. Find out if you have any sort of bee allergy or it's your fault. All right. Our next story is when machines attack. A man has died after getting his head stuck under the electronic cinema seat in Birmingham. The victim reportedly got trapped after bending down to retrieve his mobile phone at the View Cinema in Birmingham Star City Complex. So he was in what was called the VIP Gold section. Or they have a gold class seat, which has like electronic leaning and a footrest. And apparently while reaching for his phone, the footrest began to retract and it caught his head. Everyone else started calling the ambulance services, and they reported it as a patient having a cardiac arrest, which is a little bit different than being eaten by a chair. Emergency News managed to restart the man's heart, and he was taken to the city's Heartland Hospital. Cinema operator View International confirmed that the man died on March 16th, a week after the incident. Following the incident, which took place on Friday, March at our Birmingham cinema, we can confirm that the customer has been taken to the hospital that evening. We are saddened to learn that he passed. Full investigation into the nature of the incident is ongoing. I think he got ate by a chair. Man Bear Pig says Skynet is real and it comes in chair form. Squally says I'll be providing stingray acupuncture if anyone needs. RP Guest says background ding 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 done. Well, that's bad. Bee acupuncture and water falling all I need in life. Oh no. I had forgot about water falling and now it's all rushing back to me and it's terrible. Enet says, can I get the Australian discount squad? Very possibly. When Machines Attack 2. Here's another one. This one's actually really big news. A woman in Arizona has died after being hit by a self-driving car operated by Uber in what is believed to be the first time a pedestrian has been killed by an autonomous vehicle. So, There are going to be a ton of retributive information about this. Jobsis, last episode we covered water falling, and that is where you poop all of the water in your system out because you've been drinking nothing but fermented cabbage salt water. Anyway, moving back to this, one of the transportation firm's vehicles struck a woman in Tempe late Sunday night, and she died of her injuries in the hospital. The Tempe Police Department said in a statement, the vehicle was in self-driving mode at the time of the crash, although it did have a safety driver in it just in case it was needed to take over for a crash, but apparently that didn't work. The incident appears to be the first time a pedestrian has been killed by an autonomous vehicle, and it's sure to ignite a debate about the ethics, safety, and legal culpability of the technology. Proponents of the technology touted it as far safer alternative to human-driven cars. The victim was walking outside of a crosswalk when she was hit, police said. She was not yet named because her next of kin has not yet been notified. There was a vehicle operator behind the wheel of the Uber car at the time of the crash. The exact circumstances of the crash are also not yet known. In a brief statement provided to the Business Insider, Uber confirms someone had died and that its company was cooperating with investigators. Our hearts go out to the victim's family. We are fully cooperating with the local authorities, said Uber. Yes, Rambo says it was definitely the human's fault while she was out of the crosswalk. That's what happens. You gotta walk in a crosswalk. Grizz says, on the list of things I wish I didn't know, that is very high up there now. Oh, okay. Water falling. Yeah. Jobs just says it was an Uber car, right? Yeah, it totally was. Twisty says outside the crosswalk as in past the white line. Yeah, it's the human's fault. Yeah. That's called jaywalking. And jaywalking is evil. Let's see. They've pulled their Tampa cars recently to make sure that they can finish the investigation before anything else happens, right? Just in case their cars are becoming sentient and hunting pedestrians. She was transported to the hospital where she passed away from her injuries. Her next of kin was not notified. Surname's not being released. Uber is assisting. The National Safety Transportation Board is investigating the crash, it said on Twitter. Unit says, I jaywalk, I just don't do it when a car is going to hit me. Right, but you also aren't in a town where they have sentient cars trying to hunt jaywalkers. So, soon. We'll get some of that soon. Checking out our next story. I'm calling this one Marblegate 2017. I just thought it was funny because, political story having gate in it is always funny. Ramo says, if this is the first time, I'm impressed. How many people got hit by normal cars today? Yeah, thousands. All right, so Gambian voters will go to the polls in April and May this year to elect their local level officials, and the councilors and mayoral vote will be held for the two main municipalities, and it'll be the first time that they won't be using glass marbles to make their votes. The Elections Commission chief Aliou Momar Najai said that Gambia will switch to the use of paper ballots as per international standards after they got some polls done. He was quoted by a news website, the Fatu Network, that saying, aside towing international practice, cost-wise, the ballot papers were better than the marbles. This is the second time he's spoken about the move. Elections come and go but Gambia remains. There are rules in governing the campaign, and all the aspiring candidates have rules. So, what... Oh. What do we got going on here? RP, I guess. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. But, yeah, it is 2018. I totally merped that one while I was getting ready today. But, they're going to switch this year to paper ballots. And the way that they use these glass marbles, I had to look it up, is pretty cool, but also super, super janky. In its current state, like last year's elections would have been, you show up to vote. They give you your glass marble. You go into a voting ballot, and then there's like these iron drums. They're like 50-gallon drums with a hole in the top. And you put your marble in the hole in the top, and it goes down a tube ramp, and it hits a bicycle bell, and then you leave. And it's so there's somebody down there listening to make sure there's only one bell so you don't double vote, and then you get the heck out of Dodge, right? You're done. You've voted via marble. And it's like, imagine that's not necessary. I dropped my marble. Twisty Tom says, well, your vote doesn't count anymore, Twisty. You need to make sure that you hold on to that marble for dear life. All right. See if there's anybody. An estimated 900,000 voters are expected to cast their ballots at 1,422 polling stations across the country. Gambia adapted the unique system of marbles in 1960s as a solution to eliminate spoilt ballots and to allow for easy participation in the of illiterates in the electoral process. Oh, that's the other thing, right? So the barrels have the candidates like embellished on them. They're paper pictures of the candidates like glued to them, so that you can be all like, yeah, that's the guy. And so it's people who have a problem being illiterate can still vote, which is a bit above stuff we've got going on here, right? So maybe curry sauce is onto something. We should get the marble system. The only problem is we would need depending on how many millions of people vote, we would need millions of marbles. This could be a job creator in the marble industry. So who knows? Maybe it's worth it. Seems pretty hack-proof to me, especially with the addition of bicycle bells. All right, our next story is about judges and corruption. Wilfredo Benitez was found passed out in the driver's seat of his silver BMW hatchback at 2:13 a.m. with his hazards lights flashing along the shoulder of Route 80, records show. Two New Jersey state troopers who found his vehicle on the stretch of highway in Teaneck quickly began to suspect that he might be drunk. Benitez struggled with the field sobriety test, but according to the police report, he insisted that he wasn't a drug addict or a drunk, but in fact he was a fucking judge, he said. Newly obtained video shows Benitez, a municipal judge in the East Orange, Belleville, and Bloomfield, reportedly told the two troopers about his position before they cuffed him on suspicion of drunken driving. He then told the trooper reading him his rights that he was being a dick, the video shows. Police later administered a breath test and found his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. But the court case against the judge has fallen apart because of flaws in the investigation. La-dee-dee. Imagine that. Court case against a judge falls apart. November 2016 incident is now the subject of a separate ethics case against Benitez, who has been found not guilty of drunken driving. But is still prohibited from hearing DWI cases in his courtrooms, according to the state judiciary. In the court papers, the judge said he was regretful and apologetic about using foul language, but denied any other wrongdoing. Neither he nor his attorney returned messages seeking any comment. The incident was not disclosed publicly until January, when the state judiciary released a copy of the ethics complaint, which accuses him of abusing his position. Benitez argued in a February filing that he told the state troopers he was a judge because they had because the handcuffs placed on him were hurting him, and they intended to convey that the handcuffs were unnecessary since he was a judge and he was not going to harm them in any way. The filing states that Benitez never asked the state police not to administer any field sobriety test and never asked not to be placed under arrest, though an Open Public Records Act request advanced media obtained dashboard camera footage. The police reports from the incident were also obtained, and they clearly show him intoxicated. So yeah, this guy is totally abusing his system, and barely any information is coming out about it. But Squabbly says, boo-hoo, fuck that guy. Yeah, exactly. The video shows the judge grow irate after the troopers place him under arrest. He's quoted in the video saying, I can't believe you're doing this. I'm not a fucking drug addict. Not a drunk. I'm a fucking judge. I'll fight you. You know you're being a dick. I will fucking fight you. These are all quotes from the video, amazingly. But I guess the complication he's getting out on here, right, is that he had the DUI was, or the breathalyzer was not apparently under the law specifically, and I bet this never gets used anywhere else, but you have to observe somebody for 20 minutes so that they can't eat gum, drink, do anything else specifically, do anything that would mess with the breathalyzer. Like, just observe them while they sit there for 20 minutes, then administer a breathalyzer. And that is the way that you legally get a breathalyzer reading. Apparently that was unable to be proven to have been done with the judge. So, essentially, it's all getting thrown out that way. Which is crap. Curry Sauce says such fighting words. Twisty Top Hat says hypothetically. And once again, Squabbly said fuck that guy. Alright. Grizzly says fuck that shit, right? Curry says let me pull that one out of my ass next time I get pulled over, right? All you gotta do is just constantly eat gum so they can't breathalyzer you. All right, in unsurprising news, a time capsule from 1927 has failed to capture the attention of the students in an Oakland elementary school that took a trip to the past Friday without the help of a time machine, and they weren't at all impressed. Students they opened a 90-year-old time capsule and learned something about themselves in the process. 11 boys seized by bandits. Almeida couple perish in gas. Those are some of the headlines from 1927. However, the headlines are not exactly the stories that hold the attention of third graders. Overall, meh, it was cool, but not so cool, fourth grader Joaquin Ramirez said. The newspapers were in a time capsule found by a construction crew at the Glenview Elementary campus in Oakland, which is currently being remodeled. While the adults can appreciate the school guidebook and newspapers, headlines like anti-aging or anti-hanging judge to be saved by writ from sentencing slayer just don't interest kids. They were hoping to find treasures inside, like money. School officials weren't too sure what they'll do with the item. They said that they might put it on display at the school, or they might check to see if the local museums are interested. But, yeah, unsurprisingly, kids who had to worry about, dying of diseases and how much work they're going to get done when they're, today, were not too interested in what the kids were not interested in that. Udo, what 3 things would you put in a time capsule? From now, like, am I trying to show off what's up with 2018? I would put a Tide Pod, right? And mention nothing about what it is. No packaging, just a Tide Pod, and see if people in the future eat it, right? I would put a cell phone, right? Just so that we could, show the technology, like the best cell phone right now, and throw that in there. And then, something from the wrong time. And it's mostly because I'm an asshole, right? Put something that's like 100 years too old in it, just to confuse people. Like a handmade iron nail or something like that. Curry Sauce says, what we really wanted, a Zune. Remo says a butter churn. Oh yeah. Squabbly, a cell phone full of dick pics. A Zune, wow. I get it, yeah. Just put a Walkman with wow, what's that? Wow, now that's what I call music, volume 1 in it. Just to confuse everyone in the future. All right. So, Drive by Fire. This story is possibly the gangsterest story I've ever covered. Charlton, Massachusetts. Police in a Massachusetts town are warning residents to be on the lookout for men challenging passers-by to rap battles. Charlton police told WCVB-TV that a black SUV containing a group of men in their late teens or early 20s pulled up next to 3 teenage boys on Saturday afternoon. One of the men got out of the vehicle and started rapping. The other men asked the teens if they wanted to spit some bars with them. When the boys declined, the men drove off. Police say it doesn't appear to be an attempted abduction, but the boys were frightened. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. Charlton's website says it's one of the 50th safest cities in Massachusetts. Extra piece of information. The news station that I got this story from was called KRON4, which sounds like it's run by Dr. Dre. Next up on The Cron. They could make a ton of money selling that name. I don't know how they still have it. It should be a rap station. KRON. .101 from Enet down, coming to take the #1 spot. All right. Everyone panic. So this story is about a small black box with a dangling red wire and a little blue light. It was investigated by Windsor's bomb squad Tuesday. And turns out it actually isn't dangerous, at least to the living. The Windsor Police Explosives Disposal Unit were called to Mackenzie Hall around 7:15 to investigate a suspicious package. Police determined the package was safe and that there was no evidence of explosive material. Turns out the object is an electromagnetic field sensor for ghost hunting. And a group of ghost hunters left it behind, and the bomb squad got called on it. Because it looks like a creepy, weird bomb, and no one else knows what this thing is for. List out 102 from Grizzly 386. Thank you very much for the 102 taking the #1 spot. But yeah, here we go. Listowell Paranormal Society spokesperson said he didn't even realize the EMF detector, short for electromagnetic field sensor, was missing after the society completed a sweep for spirits in the hall last Friday. After describing the bit of gear, he got the bad news. They said, "Unfortunately, we can't give it back to you. It's been destroyed." Atrenu, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. It's been destroyed, but it's okay. It's replaceable, he said. It's with this tiny little box that an LED light and wire in our home. We use it to determine if there's an entity or an energy in the room with us, and if there is, the little blue light will flicker. So, whatever it is. Oh, Enet down. 2 bits. Taking #1 spot. All right. So next time you're hunting ghosts, don't leave your material behind, or the bomb squad will come and take it and destroy it. All right. Our next story is similar to something we have covered many times on this show. Paris counselors and feminist groups are demanding the closure of a new brothel where male clients are charged nearly €80 in an hour for the doll use of life-sized sex dolls. Oh, Atrenu, thank you very much for the subscription. Damn, son. Here we go. Let's throw those eyes if anybody's interested. All right. I appreciate the subscription very, very much. This is about a robot brothel again. This will be the 4th time we've covered a robot brothel, and this is not the same guys that were in Europe. So there's or not in Europe, but in the UK. So in Paris, there's a new group of guys running a robot brothel. So male clients pay nearly 80 euro for an hour for the use of life-size sex dolls. Apparently, the brothel is being run in an unremarkable-looking flat. The brothel offers clients 3 rooms with soft lighting, music, and naked silicone dolls made in China. That timing with the sentence in the song, excellent. I'm glad. Clip it. If it was that good, make a clip. It'll be our first clip. The dolls are spray cleaned in another room, according to the owner, Joaquin Lousy, 29. He told La Parisienne newspaper that he was astonished by the controversy as the operation, known as X-Dolls, was discreet. Bookings are made online and the exact address is kept secret. He said even the neighbors don't know about it. Missed the pixel there. Clients are mainly men aged between 30 and 50, usually executive types, clean, and as well as a few couples who come for a new sexual experience, he had. But Nicole Bennett, this is going to be a hard one. Olaj, Ouladj, the head of the communist group in the council, said, X-Dolls purveys a degrading image of women. Mr. Lousy countered, I'm not the right person to respond to that. I'm not a sociologist or a philosopher or a psychologist. But anyway, there is apparently the X-Dolls is not a shop. It's a place that makes money from simulating the rape of women, is what is the controversy being added here is. So once again, the exact same thing that came up with the UK operation that was doing the same thing. Is this a problem because it is dolls shaped as women? And, you know, terrible fantasies can be executed upon them? Or is this a object that it does not matter at all? So that's up to you guys to figure out for yourself, as I am not a sexologist, sociologist, or robot sexologist yet. All right. Curry Sauce says that more the sad and lonely. Curry Sauce also says Robo Dick way up earlier. I apologize if you guys hear tip tapping and the sound of what sounds like a dinosaur. My dog is getting excited. All right. Twisty also seems to be taken a little bit back. Weird robot. Apparently, bears are allowed to vote in Russia, or at least people in bear costumes. During Sunday's national election, a voter in the Siberian town of, here we go, Severodvinsk. We'll go with that one. Severodvinsk. More than 3,400 miles east of Moscow, decided to show he was bullish on Russia by dressing up as a bear. We need a Jasper emote sometime soon. As soon as I become a partner, I'll have all sorts of emotes. But for now, hold on. I'll get you guys your Jasper fix. Come here. Jasper. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want a piece of this? Yeah, come here. Eat it. Oh, Doggo. You want a piece of jerky? You can have more later. All right. Be free. He knows I have more jerky. You need more jerky. Hold on. He's getting more jerky. All right, that's it. All gone. Now get. Good boy. All right. So, man dressed as bear attempts to vote in Russia Severobakalask, and he totally succeeds. The Russian government-controlled Sputnik News reported that the unnamed voter scared a few people with his loud roar, but that most people seemed amused. However, there were some challenges. For one, the bear could barely fit into the voting booth. The video below shows, there's a video of this, I didn't grab it there here. Saturday's election reportedly attracted other creatively dressed voters as well, including one dressed as a panda and one dressed as a yeti. Vladimir Putin has won the election for a fourth term by a landslide, but exit polls don't list the breakdown of people who voted in costume. Curry Sauce says, as you do in Russia, right? Squabbly laughed at this. Twisty Top Hatter. Everybody seems to be talking about the dog there, which is fine. We all know that he's the real star of this show. But here's another kind of weird story I got here. Pro tip, crip the Dinkle. For those of you who are just joining us, Dinkle is our code word for male part of anatomy, because I've been banned on Twitch before for talking about the male anatomy. So it's just my little poke back. I'm never going to say it again. And, other than this, quoting it in a story. But when referring to it, I will refer to it from now on as the Dinkle. It's March Madness, but, college basketball games are inconveniently scheduled during work. Many urologists have reported in seeing a spike in vasectomy procedures in March. So, if you want to get out of work to watch the March Madness games, go get a vasectomy. And you'll have the excuse to be able to just get out of work for a small amount of time, and all it will cost you is one crimped dinkle. It seems to be. I don't have much more information on on the amount of stuff how much is rising, but urologists are reporting a spike in vasectomy procedures during March. Curry Sauce says, "Oh boo-hoo, it's called TiVo." Ramos says, "Painful fucking nut gut, not worth it." All right, we're going to move on to some Today in Cool stories. The Today in Cool section is where we bring on stuff that isn't necessarily, bad crimes, and usually just a positive story. The first story here is meet the world's biggest puppy. He weighs in at a whopping 180 pounds. Twisty Top Hatter giving 4 bits to take back the lead. A staggering 6 feet tall. So the pictures here are him at like 2 weeks or something, and 9 months, right? So that is a 9-month-old puppy that we are looking at here, to just towering over everything. Standing at 6 foot tall, from hind legs to head, one standing up, and 180 pounds. The 9-month-old Euphrates was bred to resemble the giant prehistoric monster dog. She eats 8 cups of dog food a day and prefers to play with a fence post rather than a squeaky toy. The owner, Jared Hauser, 41, of Salt Lake City, Utah, said, "It's unreal and unheard of at 9 months. Her size and strength is far beyond what I thought it would be. When she stands on her hind legs, she is 6 feet tall, so that's at 9 months too, which on all fours to the withers, she is 31.5 inches tall. If she were to stand, she was big enough to look out the peephole in our door. I'm 260 pounds and 6 foot 3 inches tall, but if she decided to run, I couldn't hold her on the leash, but she could drag me down the road with ease." Euphrates might have started small, but is now a modern monster. Just from wagging her tail, if she catches you in the knees, she can take down a grown man with no problem. We have a pit bull who plays tug of war with Euphrates, and they are known for their ability to pull more than their own weight, but Euphrates just sits holding the other end in her mouth unaffected and not budging at all. The Sandlot, right? Gigantic dog. Euphrates cost $5,000 and was the largest of the litter. Most people think that she's a fully grown dog when they take her out in public, but when they tell them that she's just 9 months old, their jaws hit the floor. So there we go. There's a nice, easy story. We get it. Everybody cooled down from crimped dinkles and. All right. An amateur scientist in Canada has helped researchers discover a new type of northern light, and then promptly named it Steve. This fucking story is so awesome. The glowing ribbon of purple and sometimes green that runs through the east-west in the night sky has been observed and photographed by aurora borealis chasers for years. My involvement is being a goofball who named it Steve, says Chris Ratzlaff, a Calgary photographer who's co-author of the research paper published Wednesday in the Journal of Science and Advances. The luminous light, distinct from the traditional aurora, was previously undocumented in scientific literature, and little was known about how it formed. What had been learned by scientists in NASA is that various universities and the phenomenon with the associated suboral ion drift and a powerful current created by charged particles in the Earth's upper atmosphere. The arc is an optical manifestation of that ion drift. Pants doesn't like it. Pants says, Steve, this guy fucks. Oh, there we go. Messed that up here real quick. So the rest of the paper reads, sometimes Steve appears, and Steve is a phenomenon that kind of like to hang out over Alberta, over the prairies. Photographers put together a large picture library of Steve and took it to scientists at the University of Calgary and later to NASA. Twisty Top Hatter, let's confuse everyone named Steve. Apparently Steve is just a temporary name, but for now there is a section of the aurora borealis referred to as the Steve. All right, now we move on to, I only had 2 positive news stories today, and then we're going to get into Florida Man, and this is where I'm going to give you guys the link. If you're interested, we can play Florida Man Bingo. Just click on this link here, and it will pop up a Florida Man Bingo card for you. You'll have to figure out which ones are filled yourself, and you win nothing for doing it, but it's a lot of fun to do. So, our first Florida Man story is an interaction news story. There's a handful of BBs and the word retribution. You're a Florida man. Your BB gun has been stolen, and you think you might know who did it. According to the Florida Man way, what is the appropriate thing to do? Is it to break into the person who stole the BB gun's house and steal his food? Is it to sleep in his bathtub? Is it to challenge him to a sword battle? Is it to run him off the road with a golf cart? Is it to blow up his chickens? Is it to set fire to your own home? You lost the BB gun. Pants says 6. Very fair answer. That sounds pretty Florida man-y. Twisty says, please be 3. Curry says, run him off the road with a golf cart. Ramo says, all of the answers. Journeyman says, I'm hoping it's for 3. Curry Sauce says 3. Fort Pierce, a man who has crafted a bomb inside of a whiskey bottle and blew it up in another man's backyard, was charged with a crime on Wednesday, investigators said. Scott Frederick Wagner, 55, of the 500 block of Wendell Road, was charged with possession of and discharge of a destructive device. An anonymous caller on Wednesday warned Wagner had detonated an improvised explosive device and was threatening to do it again, according to Wagner's arrest affidavit. The caller, Wagner, Her said Wagner, nicknamed Spider, was in a dispute with someone over the theft of a BB gun and had offered a friend, had offered to pay a friend to crawl under the man's home to plant an IED. Investigators from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office reported they didn't find any bomb-making equipment there, only 2 empty Canadian Mist bottles and a red golf cart. At the home of the 800 block, they found evidence of an explosion in the backyard. The homeowner, Wagner's friend, said the incident happened Saturday. Wagner pulled up to the house in the golf cart. They began to hang out. Wagner said he was going to kill the chickens in the yard. Wagner then went to his golf cart and retrieved a Canadian Mist bottle and filled it with black powder, sand, and a green fuse. According to the affidavit, investigators say that Wagner lit the fuse and threw the IED into the backyard where it exploded. They recovered a 1-pound bag of explosive black powder, 8 feet of cannon fuse, and a coffee cup filled with sand, which Wagner had left in the 6th Street home. He has been taken to the Indian River County Jail with a bail set at $30,000. So he tried to blow up his chickens. He stole his BB gun, so he tried to steal up a chicken. This guy looks like a guy who tried to blow up chickens. He looks like that guy in every video game that pays you in bear gallbladders to blow up chickens, right? Curry says that was my next guess. All right, our next story, another Florida man. Officials in a central Florida town say they're trying to nail the Mad Nailer, who's deliberately scattering roofing nails on a portion of US 1 that goes through their community. Bill Landau says the nails are being left out in the roadway intentionally in Oak Hill, where where he is the city commissioner. I have a public service announcement, he said on Facebook on Wednesday. There seems to be a Mad Nailer operating in Oak Hill. She is throwing nails out at intersections along US 1. It has been going on for some time. The nails have been responsible for flattening a number of tires, including one belonging to the wife of Oak Hill Mayor Doug Gibson. The issue to me is safety, Gibson said. US 1 runs through Oak Hill for about 2 miles. Gibson ordered the purchase of 3 magnetic rollers to scoop up the nails. So far, hundreds of nails have been collected. David Lee told the station that he has spent more than $4,000 fixing and replacing tires on work trucks due to the nails. They keep doing it. They don't give up. They just keep putting the nails out, he said. Ramos says they called me the Mad Nailer back in high school. Journey says sure they did. So I think this one, if you have unusual weapon on your card, I think that roofing nails count. And I think this is a driving incident, and the last one definitely had weird nickname because the guy was referred to as Spider. So, all right. Our next Florida man story. Steve McGuffey, 60 of the 1800 block of the 7th Avenue, was jailed. Sorry, hold on. Ramos says, because I was real good in woodshop. All right, Steve McGuffey, 60 of the 1800 block of 7th Avenue, was jailed in a felony aggravated battery charge on the March 1st incident, an affidavit states. Vero police about 1 p.m. were sent to McGuffey's listed address for a disturbance. McGuffey held a wooden stick in an aggressive stance. McGuffey's roommate told investigators the reason for the disturbance was because McGuffey was upset for him for drinking milk out of his glass cup. McGuffey and the roommate looked intoxicated, police reported. They agreed to keep their distance from each other. Not long after that, police were sent back to the McGuffey home. This time, the McGuffey's roommate had a big cut over his left eyebrow. The roommate said that after the police had left, McGuffey came at him with the stick and hit him in the head. The roommate then stated that it was over the initial argument about drinking the defendant's milk and using his cup. The affidavit states the roommate then said he was locked out and McGuffey wouldn't come to the door. He declined to prosecute. About 1:45 p.m., the police were then again summoned to the McGuffey abode. The roommate said that McGuffey kept bothering him, calling him a vulgar term for the female genitalia. McGuffey was then arrested and taken to jail. It isn't immediately clear what has happened to the cup. The story definitely had the one question that I was asking. Where the hell, what happened to the damn cup? So, roommate disturbance, if you've got it on the list, will totally work. Did anybody get a bingo? Also, we totally need to know. I think that if it doesn't have it in the Florida guys bingo, they need to add man wearing cape, because this ridiculous like barber's cape that they add in all of these photos just makes me happy. Worst story ever, no closure. Exactly. What happened to the cup? All right. I'm going to take just, 30 seconds, 60 seconds here because I've been talking for an hour straight. So give me just a moment and you have something to drink. How are you doing tonight, chat? I'm also, stretching out time, maybe being that kind of guy. We've got 18 viewers. Thank you guys very much for joining me tonight. Normally on this show we would have 4 hosts, but real life came for them today, and so it's just me today. But if you join us next Thursday at 7, we should have most of our guests coming back. Possibly, I can't remember if Pants is still doing school working then, but we'll still have a lot of stuff. And then next week we should be back to normal, 100%. Pants says he'll be there 100%. Good to go. And what was the other? Oh, yeah. Just talk about a couple things. If you're interested, we do have a merchandise store down below where you can buy our illustrious sex drug t-shirts. You can buy the Illuminati with eyebrow skeptical eye on a hoodie or on a shirt. I have gotten nothing but positive feedback on those. Mine should be on the way. Toast to Topsetter says, I have to ask, Udo. All right. I am here for the asking. And you can also buy our brand new t-shirt, the one that says, astrology is bullshit. What color is my shirt? It keeps changing colors. That's interesting. Are you talking about the center shirt or the outer shirt? Because it is purple as fuck on the outside here. And it is just a standard gray on the other one. I wonder if it's because my lighting is a little bad. Yeah, I don't know why it would be changing blue. This is an expensive ass fucking camera. It should work a little bit damn better. Next flight says lighting. Yeah, I've got all sorts of lighting. These things are neat. They're big light stand things. Let me get one in a frame here real quick. Should look like this. It's a big ass, like, super cool light stand things. Should get a front light. It's just one bulb with a diffuser over a thing, so that helps everything. All right, so let's move into Stupid Shit for Sale. This is my favorite segment of this show, where I'm going to show you guys stuff that I found for sale on the internet today, and I discovered a whole brand new website. Today, I discovered Witchsea, which is like Etsy if you want to sell jars of toenails. It's weird as fuck. Also, if you find something that you think we should cover, feel free to tweet us at twitter.com/skeptalklive and use the hashtag, it should be SSFS if you want to see if you find anything weird for sale. Also, it'll make the Twitter funny. I don't care what you post there. It'll be great. Yeah, that should be a thing here. That'll get us to show off you know, our Twitter and stuff. Here's some of the stuff that they've got here. So here is the meat blanket. This is a 60-inch by 80-inch cotton woven blanket with a print of ground beef over the top of it. Have you ever wanted to feel like you're covered in meat but not actually be grossly covered in meat? Well, here's your chance, and it's only $200 fucking dollars. Holy shit. It's really fucking expensive. But anyway, ground meat blanket, too delicious and comfortable, Pants 404 says. But yeah, Brad Roloff is offering this this meat blanket. Tournament Vader says, I kind of want that. Here's a little bit more of a close-up of the texture going on here. Yeah, he says, but not for $200, right? But that is in the living housewares section under meat blanket. I'll post all of these things here in a minute for everybody. X-Flight says, blend in like a ninja at the local meat market. Pants says, this is what you're supposed to wrap dead vegan strippers in if they OD in your flat. So this is a fleshy yoga block. Have you ever wanted to get a yoga block, but it wasn't made of human flesh? Well, this is the very best next thing. With realistic looking bruised flesh that has been stitched together in the shape of a cube. This yoga block could be yours for only $40. Look at those bruises. And the zombie yoga block, right? Yeah. It's all stitched together like it was some sort of creepy mummy. Twisty apparently likes it. Pants says, dude, what the fuck? X-Flight says it's live. Journeyman says, I don't think I want that. That is also under the housewares section. I think everything I got here today is under the housewares section, including this bloody tampon cat toy. Just in case you decided that you wanted your cat to have a creepy, bloody tampon to play with. See, look at how much this cat is enjoying this yarn-made bloody tampon for $20. Filled with 100% organic catnip and eco-friendly stuffing, every tampon features a unique blood stain. No two are alike. Approximately 3-inch, not including the string. Meow-a-Day's pet toys are handmade in California using 100% organic catnip, eco-friendly stuffing, yarn made in the USA, and shipped with recycled materials. Please supervise when in use. Curry says, I can make one of those. It's crocheted. Pants 404 says, almost as good as the real one. Journey says, yeah, I want that, mainly for the pranks. Pants says, this is definitely a website for serial killers. Twisty says, I kind of want to fill a Christmas tree with them this year. Journey says, I could totally Jane Fonda that. Yeah. For those of you who don't know what Jane Fondaing means, back in the day, when I moved into the what we referred to as the party house, we found one thing. And it was like when we moved into the house, it was, bare because it's, you're moving into a place. But we found a thing, and it was a Jane Fonda workout VHS. And we kept, every time somebody would throw it away, someone would take it out of the trash and go put it in someone else's room. And so it became a thing that you're not allowed to throw it away. It still exists to this day. I'm not exactly sure where it is. It could very well be in my house right now. But you're supposed to hide it in a friend's house, and then you can't throw it away. You have to go hide it in somebody else's stuff again. Blaze Black Sheep says, what a great idea. Teach your cat to play with your bloody used tampons. Yes, That is not a good idea at all. Your bloody used tampon should not be in any place that your cat can get to them. All right. Our next item is an unsalted butter t-shirt. Kitten Circus is over there laughing. She couldn't take unsalted butter t-shirt. But that's what it is. It's a t-shirt. It comes in blue and yellow. It is a shirt that says, it has a picture of a wrapped set of unsalted butter. Ramos says gross because butter is supposed to be salted. Twizzy Top Hatter says OMG pants. Journeyman says yep, want that. Let's see here. If you spend $30 or more in shirts, you get the unsalted, or you can get salted butter or unsalted butter handbags. Yep. Oh, and apparently you can buy salt or unsalt. Excellent. And you can get some grocery bags. So X-Flight says it's probably sold out. Blaze says shit, a great gift for that salty as fuck gamer friend of yours. We all got one. Ramos says goddamn right. I'll provide the links to all these in just a moment. Have you ever decided that your exercise ball didn't look like a piece of shit? Well, here's a hand crocheted custom exercise cover that looks like it was crocheted by a velociraptor with some sort of syndrome. Look at this thing. It's terrifying. This is just, like, I don't think that's crocheting. That's Katamari nonsense. They just rolled it through glue and then rolled it through the scrap bin of a Michaels. Twisty Top Hatter could only say ellipses. I know. This thing's magnificence is hard for you guys to swallow. Curry says, sounds like my house. Blaze says, bet you money that'd be a great mop, though. Ramos says, my 8-year-old would love it. Journey says, I don't want this, but can I have a velociraptor with some sort of syndrome? That sounds awesome. Excellent. All right. And then I think this is no, not the final item. I got one more thing after this. Christmas isn't complete until you have a decoration of Biker Santa receiving a rim job by Cross-Eyed Satan. I don't know what's going on here. The description is, your Yuletide celebrations will be incomplete without our new Weirdo Christmas cut-out decorations by Weirdo Warlord Sean Aberg for the Goblinko Mega Mall. Throw over 6 new unique sheets of Yuletide designs to turn any ordinary place into a winter wonderland. Ramos says you guys don't have that? Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm not exactly sure why they are selling biker Santa devil butthole thing. But apparently for $14 you too could join Ramo in the Yuletide season. Alright, and our final item here is the Swarovski Crystal Rose Gold Butt Plug. And I'm not sure, but I think they did something wrong when they decorated this butt plug. Like, I've seen some decorated butt plugs. This, I think they decorated the wrong parts. There's so... Blaze Black Sheep says, I think I've been doing Christmas wrong my whole life. Pat says, finally the first perfect gift for my pet rock. People are starting to catch up with the... I've beaded with Swarovski crystals. Those fuckers are sharp, right? This is wrong. I don't think that they did this one right. So, for those of you who are looking, and now you're saying to yourself, where am I going to get a properly decorated butt plug? And the answer is at Glow Fuck Yourself, which is etsy.com/shop/glow F yourself. My man Jesse over there will take care of you for all of your custom butt plug needs. We're not sponsored, but everyone needs to know about Glow Fuck Yourself. Especially when people are trying to sell this nightmare as a decorated butt plug. All right. Time to move on to Be the Change. This is the section where we are going to go through change.org and take a look and see what people are attempting to. I'm going to get rid of that. Hold on. Nobody click on that, by the way. Nobody. Pants, you want to get rid of that guy? Manigatti. That's a robot. Don't click on that, guys. So we're going to go through change.org. And we're going to take a look at what change people are trying to make here. And so our first change that we're trying to make. Thanks, Pants. Oh yeah, let me show you guys all of those witchy links here. I'm gonna save these or share these here. That is the links that you guys will need. They'll also be found in the description of this video. So this is us attempting to get to 100 signatures to find out what the hell 100 signatures does. Does it send an email to anybody? Does it actually go to anybody that matters? This is directly going to be sent directly to us if we get to 100. So we'll find out what happens if somebody actually gets to 100. So then we can really start focusing on who we need to help get to 100 so that people get annoyed that they get emails. Yeah, we don't have 100 yet. We will. One day. These petitions never go away unless they get banned. So, our next petition is to keep us from getting to 100, right? And this one only has 6 signatures. So, I'm happy that you guys want us to get to 100. Otherwise, either way, somebody's getting a stupid email about getting to 100 at some point, and it's going to be worth it to us. All right. Troy Mard is petitioning the American nonprofit organization which advocates for gun rights, the National Rifle Association. Pardon me. And 2 other people to remove the letter C from the alphabet. Letter C is absolutely useless and necessary in the English language because we already have the letters S and K. Now you may be thinking, but what about the ch sound? Well, the ch sound is a combination of the t and sh sound that we can replace ch with ch. We must eliminate the letter C to maximize our time and efficiency when improving our diction. The fact that you are able to understand our paragraph without using the letter C is just proof of how useless this letter is in the alphabet. And this is the best interest for the United States of America. So, if you want to make English better, go ahead and vote by making a change on change.org. They only have 8 signatures right now, but I have definitely signed myself. And here it says Q is also unnecessary. Research has just proven that the letter Q is also useless. Word like Queen and Quebec can be replaced with Queen and Quebec. Just as I said before, we must maximize our time and efficiency. Pants says heresy. Or it's either heresy or heresy, right? Curry Sauce says make English great again. Yep, we could probably sell that on a little red hat. Now Ramo's got a good point there. Why not keep C and get rid of S and K? Blood Assassin, thank you very much for the lurk. Change.org is basically whose line is it anyway of petitions, says Exploit. Heresy, of course. I can't get a dad joke past you, right? All right. Our next petition is to be able to marry food. So, Allison Laughlin is sending this petition to people. Caroline and I have discovered many... Oh, come on. Every time. Start reading and forget about that. Discovered many people have a deep and passionate love for food like us. We want to be allowed to marry food and get the stress of romance off our mind. The petitions are made up and the signatures don't matter. Exactly. If you share this one on your Facebook, you'll make tons of friends. If you're looking for social engagement, all you gotta do is just click this one. Ramos says, I totally marry Cinnabon Delights. You may have to fight for that for some people, but either that or you guys are open to it and that's okay, right?
You can fuck with Cinnabon.
All right. And then a meme based petition here. This is a meme to bring back Pepe. I just triggered 5 or 6 people by calling it Pepe. Pepe has been wrongfully convicted of having a negative and racist connotation 100% of the time. Just because some racist Pepe memes and emotes exist does not mean that all of Pepe should be banned from the Overwatch League. If you are empowering the alt-right movement and losing viewers... Oh. Come on. There are so many harmless emotes that are constantly used for all sorts of expressions, and taking away Pepe is just like taking away freedom of speech. Pepe feels sad, man. Bring him back. So, this is, I'm just interested in seeing Blizzard Entertainment get an email about Pepe from change.org. That's the whole reason that I was saying we should definitely sign this. Unless you feel that Pepe is specifically an alt-right symbol, then yeah, whatever. You're where you're at. But I want Blizzard to get a Pepe email. All right. Put Pepe in Diablo 4. He already is. He's actually Diablo's boss. All right. So, usually, in this section, I would be working to... the way that I would present this next section is I'm attempting to convince everyone, especially a couple of people who are here with me, about some sort of conspiracy, right? We're going to see how this one goes now that I don't have everybody to bounce dumb ideas off of. It's going to be just me sitting here attempting to convince people who can't immediately speak back that something dumb is real. So, if you feel free to call out bullshit or say whatever, just this next section is our main conspiracy for the night. And it is mind control. Hope you guys are ready for fluoride. The idea, in a nutshell, is that the government puts fluoride in our water in order to negatively affect huge populations for their own financial gains. Fluoride is actually a strong tranquilizer in disguise. That the U.S. wants their citizen to become zombie, and that Kellogg's, Nestle, Crest, and other food companies known as the Fluoride Mafia are all in on it. And the fluoride dumping is secretly wrapped up in Illuminati interests. Doodly 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 doodly. Now I present to you... I have 2 updates available. Don't you fucking dare. Alright. So, I've got my first piece of evidence here. Here... You can't just have 200 billion woke motherfuckers run around doing stuffs, right? So, Exhibit A here is what Florida thinks about fluoride.
Fluoride is a natural mineral found in all water. It strengthens teeth and helps prevent tooth decay.
Community water fluoridation adds the ideal amount of fluoride to water supplies. Currently, over 211 million people in the U.S.
As you can see, they have chosen to use the cartoon to attempt to communicate with the simple people of Florida.
live in areas that use fluoridation. When public drinking water delivers ideal fluoride levels, people of all ages, education, and income enjoy better dental health.
And save time and money at the dentist. Learn more at floridahealth.gov/fluoridation.
Well, that should speak for itself, right? Florida is possibly the biggest piece of evidence. Go back through any of our shows and watch our Florida Man sections, and you'll also understand why this is probably the biggest piece of evidence for fluoride being a sedative that numbs the minds of those who drink it. And Journeyman Bader told my joke a little early. I had this right here. Also, Florida fluoride. Do you see the connection? But he got me first. Squabbly says you don't have to convince me of this one. I'm already an expert. Journeyman says, yeah, ain't nobody doing shit in Florida. X-Flight says, not like you can just use calcium carbonate to brush your teeth. Here is... Oh, wait, what is this one? I don't remember. Oh, this is how to... This is what you can do about it. This is what you can do from it. This is a message from Free Citizens.
I'm a free citizen of America. And today I have some very important information that I want to get out to you.
As you can tell, he's very important because he's a free citizen of America.
Now, what we're going to talk about today is how to remove fluoride from your body. Now, if any of you are not...
So he's going to go on a little bit here about how he found out that he was getting fluoride. And we're going to skip to that part because this is very important. Let me see if I can find it. Was it like 2 minutes?
And I was feeling lethargic and didn't have any drive for anything. And so I told this to my mom, and my mom said,
no, that's not. It's a little bit further.
The strangest feeling. I just started. Okay,
here it is. Here it is. All right, this is.
Into this place. I did not.
This is him talking about how he moved into his place and he found out his water was fluoridated.
I have a fluoride filter, and after a couple months, I had been feeling myself getting dumber. And it was like
no shit.
The strangest feeling. I used to be able to think about stuff, but I just couldn't do it. And I was feeling lethargic and didn't have any drive for anything. And so I told this to my mom, and my mom said, we forgot to get you a fluoride filter. So we got
his expert, his mom. He went directly to the biggest expert that he knew. Squabbly says, sounds like it's a permanent effect. I don't think the process is working, says Journeyman Painter. It's totally, he's going to show you guys how to get rid of fluoride here in a second.
A fluoride filter, and just after a week of drinking non-fluoridated water, I felt myself getting more smarter again, and I had more energy.
Could you imagine what he was like when he wasn't smart?
So not only would I like to encourage you, if you don't believe me, give it a try for yourself. Get a fluoride filter and notice how you feel. I tell you, it's true. Now, for those of you who are already aware of the dangers of fluoride, I would like to teach you the most effective way of removing fluoride from the body. And it's contained in this jar. Now you're saying, Ben, that's...
All right, let's take bets on what's in the jar. Commander Guru 951. Pardon me, sorry. Welcome to the show. Blaze Black says, all right, how much indica has this fool been smoking? Commander Guru says, yeah, it's high energy and sharp. Clearly it works. Mom approved. Journeyman's Raider says, he's just a flesh puddle before removing the fluoride. Flight says urine. Twisty says urine. Curry Sauce says chloroform. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Curry, you know, if somebody gets on you about their spelling, I'll deal with it. Journeyman says hydrochloric acid, I hope. Squabbly says it's definitely some kind of chemical that is supposed to either pull the chemical out or bind to it.
It's just water. I say no, it's not just water. This is a special solution that I have made.
Angry Cicada, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world, one follow at a time. That one's a little bit of a cheat. I do know who Angry Cicada is. That is Kitten Circus's new username. All right.
Or more literally, that my mom made for me.
His mom made it, by the way. His mom made the special solution he's going to use to pull.
This is probably a common household item that you may already have.
Just wait for it. Here it comes.
Borax.
Here it is.
Borax.
Borax. All you gotta do is drink soap. just start drinking soap. It'll take care of all of it'll take care of all of the aluminum and fluoride that is stuck in your brain.
Is used to soften water, to make it easier for your clothes to get washed, and for that reason we use it as in the laundry machine. But the thing is, borax is actually a natural earth salt that is mined out of the earth, just like baking soda is. Now,
Blaze says he must be snacking on Tide Pods. X-Flight says he's on a soap cleanse. Journeyman says, wait, soap helps wash things? I don't get it. Commander Guru says, borax, which side of his body will he be drinking from? Right? So, moving on from that, basically what he's saying there is if you're worried about being mind controlled into being stupid, all you need to do is drink soap. Twisty Top Hatter seems to find this a little entertaining. All right, our next piece of evidence here
Hey, what's going on, guys? This
is what fluoride does to you. Blaze Black Sheep says, shake my goddamn head, jeez. Squabbly face palms. Curry says, heard lie works just as well.
Gonna be about the third eye and fluoride.
Thompson TV telling you about your third eye fluorides.
In your toothpaste, fluoride is in a lot of food. Fluoride, at some period, we thought it was something healthy. We thought it was something good for the teeth. It's in your toothpaste, like I said. You can go look on a bottle right now. 90% of the toothpastes that you're gonna find is gonna have fluoride. And it's funny because they promote it like it's the thing you need to get clean teeth.
What
now,
the fuck food is my fluoride in?
Fluoride has been proven over and over and over again that it does nothing for the teeth. In other countries outside of America, they do not use...
As you can tell by him editing the word nothing into the corner there, that's as good as citing a source. Just as good. I mean, you could cite a source or you could just re-emphasize your point in the video that you're talking about.
Use fluoride in Europe.
Journeyman says, yeah, I'm convinced.
Use fluoride in their toothpaste. Like I said, once again, remember this. Fluoride is poison for the pineal gland. When fluoride enters the body, it attaches itself to the pineal gland and it starts to destroy, calcify the pineal gland. So, for all of you guys that are trying to open their third eye, and you always look at these videos on decalcifying the third eye or activating the third eye, you can't activate or open as the third eye. The pineal gland, the physical pineal gland, is damaged and calcified. So
yeah, he says here the damage that is done to you is that you get your third eye won't open because you have a crusty pineal gland. He says calcify, but I think crusty is the real scientific term here. You get a crusty gland, right?
Stop taking in foods and chemicals like fluoride, chloride, and you're damaging the pineal gland, because if the gland itself
Squab says I gotta look up how to decalcify my third eye.
The energy of the third eye is not going to be released so you can use it properly. Many of us know, a lot of us don't know that. And
Journeyman Bader says, so I have something that I call a third eye, but it's never been calcified. Maybe crusty. Oh, goddamn. Gross. All right. So your pineal gland is what's at real danger here. We gotta go a little bit further into here to get to my next point.
Most public water, there is fluoride. And the reason that it is there, or it's possible that it could be there, is because in your city, they will tell you that it's in the water. If you go to the water company,
he net down 2 more bits, taking the lead again.
It's not a secret, so they're allowed to put it in, and you can go and protest about it. I don't know how far you'll get with that. I never even thought of or tried to make an attempt to do something like that. But I think more people should, because it's something that's damaging not just a few people, but majority of the world. And it's put in place for a specific reason.
Angry Cicada, thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription. All right. X-Flight asks, why does fluoride even calcify my gland? It's because it's a process called crustification. Journeyman says, by no means should you research anything. Twisty Top Hatter is now 2 bits behind, or 1 bit behind. Squabbly says, to decalcify your pineal gland, use fluoride filters to minimize fluoride intake from public water. Use alternate fluoride-free toothpaste. Stop taking calcium supplements with synthetic calcium. Avoid using non-stick cookware with PFOA and PFC. And to eat organic whole foods. Because everyone just has $10,000 to spend on whole foods. Why don't you go get married there, Squabbly?
Because they know exactly what it does. And why do they still give it to us? That's a big question. And we can all sit here and have our own ideas. But when it comes down to it, if you're putting things that kill people into their water and their food, what are you trying to do besides slow them down or kill them, right? You're not, oops, I gotta put this fluoride in there. Oops, it's gonna damage your mind. Oops, I'm gonna do it again and every day. And make sure.
Willis Wonder, thank you very much for the subscription with Twitch Prime. Throw some more eyes up there, everybody. Woo! Journeyman Bader says, I've killed about 4 people with fluoride myself. This guy's gonna get to his part here.
That it's extremely hard for you not to put that fluoride in your system. That's the only reason we don't have more enlightened people, more people that's astral projecting, doing fantastic things like healing people, straight walking through walls. This world is
Straight walking through walls. He's good. We don't walk through walls because there's fluoride in the water.
So many fast food joints that have fluoride and all sorts of chemicals that just destroy the pineal gland. So yeah, guys, stay away from fluoride as much as possible.
All right, so Woofer Inc. says it's because they walls. Exactly. Walls are probably what keeps us from walking through walls. All right. So in that last video, he said that no other countries outside of the U.S. and parts of Europe use fluoridated water, except Egypt, Libya, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Israel, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Czech Republic, Croatia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, which doesn't exist, so this data may not be right. Ireland, Latvia, the Netherlands, Serbia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, most of Australia, which also doesn't exist, New Zealand, South America, Brazil, and Chile. Mexico and Germany don't use fluoridated water. They instead use a system of table salt with added fluoride. So salt you buy in Mexico has to have added fluoride. China does not use fluoridated water because they have unnaturally high levels of fluoride in their public water already, in their natural groundwater, along with Hong Kong and India having the same issue. Public drinking water supplies are not currently fluoridated in any part of Germany. However, children and adolescents use fluoridated salt and toothpaste, as well as fluoride tablets and washes that are strongly encouraged by the German Ministry of Health. So it's totally expert. Woofer Inc. says so, everyone. Twisty Top Hat says, or Anet says, I astral project all the time. Oregon legalized it a couple of years ago. Twisty says, yeah, you do. X-Flight says, yeah, I'll have a McFluoride and a Flora soda, please. Squabbly says, saving that money, boy. But that's about all I've got on fluoride. So here's the last part of my fluoride evidence, which is Alec Jones in tears about fluoride.
Writer was making fun of me about fluoride in the water. But he was for real. He wasn't an evil demon, because he'd exposed police framing people in Texas. I assessed him. I did the interview, the multiple...
You can tell this is a serious one because it's all about demons.
Interviews. I hadn't...
Well, Frank, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time.
Checked into his family. I later found out his wife works for the city of Austin in the water system.
Edgar Cicada says, I hate this guy. A lot of people hate this guy. Twisty Jobhatter says, this guy. Swabbly says, the big J man.
The congressional hearings, I emailed him the report where 90+% of EPA scientists, as well as a bunch of FDA scientists, sent letters saying hundreds of chemicals are put in the water under the name fluoride, but fluoride itself doubles cancer risk. And he kind of called up and apologized. He said, okay, I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked by this. And then later I did research on him and found out his wife, works there. So that's probably why he's shocked by it. Because I bet she doesn't even know, even though she has a degree in wastewater management from the same prestigious university.
Here it comes. He's about to get real into this.
I forget the name of it. What's the one up north of Round Rock? What's that big university?
See if I can find it. It's not big, but he's about to get real into it.
He was kind of shocked the next time we met, and he pulled that out of the story. That I'm this kook who thinks, look, it eats your frickin' bones, it attacks your damn brother. I'm sorry, I apologize. I just can't do this show anymore. Okay, I can't do it anymore. They know the fluoride's killing us. All right. And I gotta watch shows on CBS on television where we're terrorists because we're warning people. People are giving it to their kids, people. They're giving it to the children. You go to a Babies R Us.
So as you can see, by clear evidence shown here, Alex Jones' brain has been eaten by fluoride. And it it makes you makes you more docile and cry-like. But for those of you who are super angry about Alex Jones, he pounded on his desk. That means it's true. That's the old thing. Alex Jones has many times on different different sources, although he always unadmits it because the character would unadmit it. This is a character that he is playing, and he's essentially a fear jockey, and he makes really good money peddling fear to people who need something to be afraid of. But it's not really hard to get into that kind of a character. You just gotta bring it forward and to be really serious about everything you're talking about. So it's a thing that you can do, and the character is pretty easily. He's a demon-possessed, Squabbly says. Journeyman Baiters, I already covered that one. Squabbly says he's demon-possessed, obviously. Right. So that is my presentation on fluoride. If you guys would like any more information about fluoride, you can go to dark, terrible areas of the internet, and you'll find tons of it. So that is pretty much the end of the show tonight. I almost made it 2 hours on content that I usually have ready for multiple people. So we did good. We did good, guys. I'd like to thank all the new people who joined. I'd like to thank the 2 new subscriptions that we picked up. Let's see. Woofer, thank you for joining us. Let's just go back here really quick. Willis Wonder, thank you very much for the subscription. Angry Cicada, thank you for the subscription.